What's going on, y'all? It's Season Love as the Ayurveda, that's who I be. Spiritual lifestyle coach from the Ascension Matrix and Get Baked NYC. And welcome to another episode of the Money Healing Monologues. Over here at the Money Healing Monologues, I like to open up a space to speak about the development of communal wealth, health, and excellence. So join me where every episode we get to reiterate, transmute, and just re-express some things that I think we should speak about cosmically as a community. And for those of you who have been tapped in with the show thus far, you know that we are in our retrograde season of season 1. So we're going back. We're reiterating. We're going over those topics that we went over in last season and touching on them again from a more evolved, holistic point of view. So, excuse me, Mr. Bug, how rude. Why would you land on my mic, sir? Yeah, this episode 2 of the retrograde season, when we come to this space, I appreciate being able to communicate in a form where we are in constant alignment with the reality that we are manifesting collectively, which is, source ordained, fully in alignment with the purity that is the essence of source creation. And that requires every single one of us to look within ourselves, tap into our literal source, like creation energy, our breath. Get in tune with ourself holistically so that we can once again feel that balance. And the community has been knocked off its tilt in so many different ways, internally on an individual level and in a social communal basis as well. You know what I mean? The way that these structures have manifested, the way that these different constructs have been utilized to manipulate us into living a lifestyle that we don't actually desire or isn't actually in alignment with source ordained, thus internally always feeling unbalanced. And that unbalanced is something that I really, really, really want to dive into this episode. You know what I mean? And it's the reason why things like entrepreneurship is made to be so difficult in this day and age and is not suggested and completely promoted because of the challenges that come with it. But the challenges are bred from a society that does not want us to be self-sustainable. And we have to accept that. We have to understand that. We have to understand that. Because they've made us complacent. They made us dependent on all of these different things. We don't know food outside of our grocery store, and that's not an affirmation, that's an observation. You know what I mean? And kudos to the individual beings that are out here exercising that homestead way of living. The garden, cultivating our own fruits and vegetables and eating from the earth. Not having to pay for our food. That's not natural, having to pay for our food. And that's a social construct and an aspect of community that needs to be abolished first and foremost. In addition to housing that is free, shelter and food and water for free. You did not do anything in this You don't have to do anything in this realm to be able to deserve that. You just have to breathe. Because you're breathing, you deserve that. Simple. And, that's the reprogramming that, we're walking through right now in this age of Aquarius. We have to understand that. We are opening up our heart chakras in this way. And if not, we will continue to crumble and fall and stay in these lower chakras. You feel me? We have to open up our heart chakra in this way, balance our heart chakra in this way where we are not greedy, we are not selfish. Because these are the unsustainable ways of being that we have been taught to, become accustomed to, have been taught to just reiterate in so many different ways, subconsciously and consciously. And it's conscious, and we've been programmed to not give a fuck about it and be desensitized and numb in that way. As a community, we need to speak about alcohol and what that being actually is, because alcohol, that is an actual being within itself. You feel me? Like, there's all these different things that we've been programmed to think are in the name of fun, and it is what it is, and it's not that serious. Yeah, they want you to keep thinking that. And they want you to keep thinking that you're not that serious, so you can keep hating yourself and neglecting the fact that you do hate yourself. And it's not a bad thing to hate yourself. So if you feel some shame when I say that because it's directed at you, then that's okay in itself as well. I'm not judging you. The judgment's not coming from here. I don't give a fuck to judge you, because I was in that place as well. I just evolved from it and alchemized the energy. That's why I'm able to sit here right now and be confident in the words that I'm saying right now and speak from my heart space. So as a community, we need to be okay with that as well. We need to come to terms with that as well, our own shadows and the shit that it be making us feel, and thus be having us act towards each other, going against each other and shit, because somebody else got more knowledge than you, somebody has accepted themselves more than you accept yourself. Get over it. Get the fuck over it. As spiritual lifestyle coach, literally get the fuck over it. Literally. Because it's holding you back. It's clogging your solar plexus energy, because you don't believe that you are necessarily because you don't think that you're deserving of reiteration. You don't feel like you are bound to growth. You're like, as if niggas is not here to literally grow. Literally. What the fuck? You're going to grow from that. You're not bound to that. And it's because of, individuals around us and lack mindsets within ourselves that keep us in these mind frames of like, oh, this is how we're supposed to be. This is how things are supposed to be. That's a fucking lie. That's literally a lie. All of these literal distractions are around you to keep you from seeing your power. And I will repeat that every single episode. I'll repeat that in every single thing that I do, every single song that I write. All these little things are to keep you from seeing your own power. And that's really unfortunate, because you're actually mad powerful if you choose to perceive yourself as such. But if you want to keep perceiving yourself as weak, what the fuck the nigga, what you want the community to do? What do you want the community to do if you're perceiving yourself as weak? That's interesting. Interesting pity energy that we're dealing with here. And that's why I wanted to shift the Money Healing Monologues in this way, is because we need to literally just sit down and hear it. We need to hear these energies. We need to bring them to light. You know what I'm saying? And actually just hear them outside of our own minds and itemize them for what they are, so that we can understand them and move on from them. Because again, you're not bound to these things. You're not. And as a community, your community needs you to focus in on yourself and do your fucking shadow work. Heal yourself. Work on your own skills. Because when all of this shit crumbles and there is no more grocery store and shit, the way to avoid a purge is literally knowing how to take care of yourself. The reason that people are so scared of the government falling to begin with is because niggas don't know how to take care of themselves. You wouldn't know what the fuck to do if there wasn't no grocery store, and that is sad. Why don't you know how to take care of yourself outside of the conveniences that have been given to you? You're not a baby. But in a lot of aspects, we still are. And we deserve this intentionality and this continuous, repetitious way of being nurtured. We have to be able to give that to ourselves on a more internal level, so that we can see clearly in the different aspects how we can provide that to ourselves in the external level. Because all of these different conveniences are masked to literally be convenient, a fast, quick way to be able to deal with things, so that we can just get it over with and like, all right, we did it. Okay, cool. We got it. Okay, bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not it's not actually rooted in sustainability, and that's what we need to analyze, overstand within our interpersonal lives and all the structures and constructs that have been bred around us and placed around us for us to be accessible, have things accessible to us. It's all a part of the programming. It's all a part of the continuous perpetuation of the patriarchy and capitalism. But on that note, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Money Healing Monologues. This one was nice, short, and sweet. Or at least it feels like it was short. Because I could go on. I really, really could go on. But you should definitely go back and watch the first episode. Because this is just a retrograde episode. And I just really wanted to tap in energetically, cosmically with all of these topics. And give y'all like the real, actual news. Cosmically, energetically, what this shit is saying about us. Especially now, currently. What we're walking through. You feel me? But go back and tap into, season 1, episode 2. And let me know what you think about that in the comments. There's always going to be a question in the description box, so you can answer that question and be a part of the conversation. Because again, regardless if I ruffle some feathers, if I made you think differently, it doesn't matter. Your opinion is valid over here. That's what this space was cultivated for. So, I'll see y'all in the next one.